All right. So I'd like to take a few minutes to share with you some details about this composition that I call the Sacred Grove. Beginning with the foundation, we have the Kali Svastika, which represents the Universal Mother and the manifestation of Brahman. And it's anchored through the four primary directions by the Chokurei, which is the Japanese Reiki symbol that centers the universal energy into a particular place. And through this spiral, through the swastika, you can see the spirals. It's a reflected aspect of Venus, which forms the foundation of each of the children trees. And so the Kali swastika spiral centers onto the mother tree in the center and goes poof, up within. So it's hard to see in the video. The camera is only capable of capturing so much of its essence. We have 5 different metals, each with their own alchemical meaning. We have gold, which represents the sun and the enlightenment, perfection, purity, and the divine masculine principle. Married with silver, which represents the moon and transformation, inner wisdom, divination, and the divine feminine. Of course, there's copper wire all throughout, which is symbolic of Venus, and she represents healing, beauty, balance, and living a full life. In the base metals here are actually keys, and they are composed of brass and iron. So brass represents the Uranus with its zinc, and the magical revelation, flashes of insight, renewal, and progression. And the iron, of course, represents Mars with power, growth, and protection. So now we get into the trees. And the trees represent our dimensions of cultivation and growth. And so for these trees in particular, I chose a combination of green aventurine to represent fluorescence, which is, because this is a heart chakra centered stone, fluorescence is the abundance and prosperity that we encounter when we live with an open heart. And it's combined with prehnite, which unites the solar plexus and heart chakras. And so I've chosen it to represent communion, which is, when we see beyond the separateness of individuality, the mind becomes united with the heart. For the oranges, I use sunstone, and sunstone activates the sacral, solar plexus, and crown chakras. And so I've chosen to represent vitality. This vitality, is absolutely necessary for prosperity. It's from this connection with the life force that we are enabled to give. And the trunk of the mother tree is composed of amber and mahogany obsidian, and both of them are in the lower chakras. The mahogany obsidian represents resolve, as it connects the sacral and root chakra, our creation, to our security. And the amber is embodied light, quite literally that, as its crystallized essence of plants from millions of years ago. It unites the sacral and solar plexus, our creation, with our mind, delight, and magnetism. I don't know if you can see it very well. There are little flowers in here growing up on round of each of the spirals of Venus, and they represent the blossoms of our experiential wisdom. For these flowers in particular, I chose aquamarine as the first flower, which is acceptance. It unites the heart and throat chakras, allows us to express our truth, but also receive the truth of others. There's also green moonstone to represent innocence, something that we lose and then through our life and experience can regain. As that unites the sacral heart and third eye and crown chakras, this is a very, very powerful stone to anchor the spirit through the heart and through our creative center. There's also rhodonite, which connects the heart to the root chakra, and I have this to represent empathy. And this is the interconnectedness that we can live in when our heart is grounded in its security. And then closer to the mother tree is the white jade, which unites the heart and crown chakras. And I've chosen to represent stillness. This is the intuitive clarity and the boundlessness and timelessness that comes from living in the now. At the foundation of it, beneath the trees, this I call the Earth Orgonite Matrix. It represents the universal potentials of incarnation. It's hard to see whether you can actually see the adorescence of the moonstone, but the first layer of the floor is composed of gray moonstone, which represents the root, sacral, third eye, and crown chakras, and I've chosen this to represent our infinite potential. Yes, we come into this incarnation with limits, but even within those limits, there's infinite potential. In a circle beneath the mother tree is embedded rose quartz to represent the principle of universal love. And in the four directions of the Chokurei, I've placed Amazonite and blue apatite. And the Amazonite represents the harmony that comes from living in balance. And the blue apatite represents inspiration. It keys into our third eye chakra. The Amazonite is another throat and heart chakra stone. It's got this beautiful aqua blue color. Then in between, I've placed nephrite jade as a symbol of abundance and prosperity as well. And then, of course, this is all filled in. There's the cloud here atop and another embedding to create the crystal window of clear quartz to expand the energy potential infinitely. And then there are nodes of black tourmaline, which activates all the chakras to represent transmutation. And then sprinkled all throughout, there's selenite, which helps to purify the system itself energetically. Selenite is a very powerful cleansing stone, and so I've chosen to represent purity. It's always an option to cleanse ourselves of our negative experiences and learn from them and grow. So yeah, it's like losing a little bit of the light. We go there, but you can kind of see how they all come together and play in this incredible energy machine called the Sacred Grove.